So welcome back. I'm just going to do a roundup of the round 26 of the Premier League and talk about the important games, or the games that I felt were at least interesting and had something to talk about. So we're going to start off with the top of the table clash between Arsenal and Leicester. Now, this was an important win for Arsenal as they took the game 2-1. This leaves them 2 points behind Leicester. They are tied with Spurs, but Spurs do have a better goal difference, so they are sort of in second place with Arsenal in third. Now, Leicester took the lead through a Vardy penalty in the first half, which some have questioned. However, I have to agree, Monreal left his leg trailing, Vardy saw it, went over him, complete contact, penalty, can't argue with that. That was a penalty, which Vardy did convert. Now, Leicester subsequently suffered when they had Simpson shown a red card after picking up his second yellow card. Now, it was a harsh red, but the first yellow card is debatable, I agree with that, but when you're on a yellow card, don't drag a player back as he's heading towards the box. It's just that's not a smart decision to make. And Leicester really suffered for having him off the pitch. Arsenal did get themselves back into the game when Giroud glanced a really, really nice header over to Walcott, who just slotted home past Schmeichel, who was fantastic throughout the day. Czech made some really good saves, but arguably Schmeichel was man of the match in goal. Now, Arsenal were definitely dominating the game. They had a myriad of chances, and it was Schmeichel basically keeping them out. Then with the game running out and everyone thinking, well, this is going to be a 1-1 draw, Vasilevsky comes out for Leicester and just gives away a really needless free kick near the box, which Ozil curled in for Welbeck to head home, and this would have been absolutely brilliant for Welbeck. He hasn't played since April, and to come back in with your first game back and get a goal, it'll do his confidence a huge boost. So really important win for Arsenal, keeps them in that title hunt and dents Leicester's chances a little bit. It's going to be a really, really great run-in for the Premier League. So I'm going to move on to the next game, Sunderland versus Man U. Now, Sunderland took this game 2-1, and no one will have seen a Sunderland win, even with United's problems that they've been having and the struggles that they've been going through. Now, Kazri opened the scoring when his free kick just eluded, it must have been half a dozen players. It just seemed to sort of phase through them all and just sneaked in at the back post with De Gea completely stranded. Now, United did respond positively to this, and they definitely piled the pressure on, but they really seemed to lack a cutting edge in front of goal. They did get their goal in the end, though, when Martial poked in from a really tight angle. It was a really good finish after Manone made a really, really good save. Now, that didn't sort of last very long. Kone eventually powered home a great header, which De Gea was unable to keep out, and it went down as an own goal, which is really harsh on De Gea, who, again, was good in front of the sticks for United. This is massive for Sunderland as it lifts them out of the drop zone, and this is more trouble for United as they were uninspiring again. They just no attacking movement, and they didn't seem to be a threat in front of goal. It looks like they may even struggle to secure a European place. I can't see them getting top four, and they're really, really going to worry about whether they can even get Europe at this place, and that's going to be a huge worry for them. Moving on to the next game, Chelsea versus Newcastle. Now, this was a great win for Chelsea, who absolutely smashed Newcastle 5-1. Chelsea are struggling to make their way back up the table, and this was a disaster for Newcastle, and it sends them back into the relegation zone. And Chelsea blasted out of the blocks, and they got goals from Costa, Pedro and Willian. And Newcastle just looked shell-shocked and couldn't get anything going. They just looked like they had no ideas. Sloppy passing, no support, and complete lack of any real game plan. Eventually, further goals came in from Pedro again, another one from Pedro and Traore, before Townsend netted a last-minute consolation goal. He didn't celebrate, he was angry, everyone was angry. And with a Sunderland win against United, this is the last kind of result that Newcastle could afford to have. Real struggles on Steve McLaren, and puts his job safety in question, shall we say? Let's be generous on that one. It looks like Newcastle may be going down unless they can really turn it around and quickly. Now, moving on to the next game, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Now, this one ended 6-0 to Liverpool, which is just another nail in the coffin for Aston Villa with impending relegation battle. On the flip side, though, a really important victory for Liverpool as they look to maintain their European ambitions. Great movement from Coutinho and Firmino again. It was a really good welcome back for Sturridge, who's underlined his importance to Liverpool. They really need to keep him fit and scoring the goals for them. Villa's defending was absolutely woeful. No one seemed to know where they were supposed to be or what they were supposed to be doing in this game. No one knew where anyone else was. There's not really much to say on this. Aston Villa were rubbish, woeful, and Liverpool were really, really good. And, no team should be stuffed 6-0 at home, quite frankly. Aston Villa, I cannot see them getting out of this one. No strengthening in the transfer window. It's not good for them. It will be a miracle if they don't get relegated this season. And moving on to the final match that I'm going to talk about, which is the Manchester City versus Tottenham game. Now, this game, along with the Arsenal-Leicester game, was probably the most important one of the weekend, as Spurs sealed a 2-1 win away at City. All in all, I thought City carved out the better chances, but Spurs were a lot more clinical in front of goal. Kane opened up the scoring from the penalty spot after a really harsh decision. I mean, there's no way this was a penalty, as Raheem Sterling was deemed to have handled the ball in the area. I mean, he had his back to goal and jumped to block the ball. I mean, what else was he supposed to do? City did fight back well, though, and their young striker Ian Archo got City back on equal terms with 15 minutes left in the game. But Spurs showed why they're real title contenders in this one, when the City defence decided to give Eriksen the freedom of the penalty area. He was put through with acres of space and tons of time to slot past Hart to take the win. Now, this is one of the important things that City have struggled with, is their defending is inconsistent at best, and they're struggling to get a solid defensive partnership that's at what I would call the elite level. This they can't do this. They can't have these kinds of issues if they want to mount a successful Premiership challenge. Now, this leaves Spurs and Arsenal tied in second place. Spurs with better goal difference, and there's 2 points in it at the top. It's going to make a really interesting run. So those are the important talking points I felt for the last weekend. Interested to hear what everyone knows, so let me know. Thanks a lot, guys.